WrestleFriends Podcast!
Welcome.
We have arrived.
Welcome. I'm a little bit off.
WrestleFriends Podcast on the floor.
This is a bit gypsy style,
We're sitting
innit?
on the floor.
I don't know. This is probably more ghetto than the last time we did it.
I don't want to wait for this life to be over.
What? Jake's back.
Jake
Yay.
has returned.
Whoopie-doo.
You come back from your gambling cruise.
To Vegas, where it was all
Were you fighting ISIS?
Yep.
on your own, single-handedly. You're actually going to martial arts later, aren't you? So we're gonna have to where you're learning to Superman punch people
Kapow!
like Roman.
Do they do Superman punches at martial
I've
arts?
seen
Yeah.
him do a Superman punch at martial arts.
We're going to have to talk about this later, Jake.
Do you feel like your martial arts career is really taking off now? You're in Black Belt Club.
Does
No,
Black
no-
No one can see hand gestures. We've discussed this before, and I know
Black
it's
Belt Club-
good if you're the Young Bucks because they're getting into trouble for hand gestures, but we're allowed to do it still.
People always threaten me with police action for my hand gestures because they're normally rude.
Which ones do you use?
It's
Not
just-
suitable for kids.
just the wiggly hand one. Does Black Belt Club have a theme tune?
No.
Would you like me to do one?
I think you should.
Now down Black Belt Club.
That was kind of like a Starsky and Hutch, sort of like 70s.
Well, in my
vibe.
head, it's like 50s. They've all got stuff tied around their heads. Not 50s, 70s.
Bow, bow,
Anyway, Dave, what have you been up to this week?
bow, Black Belt Club.
Other than making up theme tunes.
What have I done? I've just got back from hospital. My wife had a foreign body in her knee, and it's came out recently.
I would say
piece of glass.
on about 22.5% of our podcast, you
Being in hospital for
you
some
be in
reason.
the hospital or something.
Yeah, I'm a resident hospital goer.
Like that time when Jake's finger went big.
Yeah, well, that time Leo had to go for several reasons. Yeah, that was a good story, wasn't it, when you got drunk on gas and air?
Yeah.
I can't actually think of anything that I've particularly been up to. I hung some doors last week, and I know that you love that.
No.
You love that, don't you? You love
I don't.
the
It's not
of the
hanging doors. You're putting the door on a frame.
It's hanging door, January term. Could talk about the wrestling that I went to on Monday, but I'll leave it to me. WrestleThoughts. What you've been up to?
So me and Amanda went and planted our tree
Oh,
at our
I've
wedding
seen the
venue.
picture of that.
So we got married in 2014, and we've just got round to planting our tree at the venue. So yeah, it was cool, but like
You know the photo that was on Facebook?
Yeah.
Because I saw a photo of you.
I looked like a real
digging-
person on it, didn't I?
Digging a hole.
Right,
You
we'll get
did.
into
Was
the
that
thing.
just a pose?
No. So this is what happened. So with everything in my life, at some point there's an embarrassing moment.
Uh-huh.
So when we got there, the bloke was like, "Oh, there's your spade." I'm like, "Say what?" Because you need to dig the hole to put the tree in. It was as you saw, it was like a tiny little Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So in 20 years' time, it'll be like a real one.
No. Do you get to take the Christmas tree home to use as a Christmas tree?
Well, I'll just break in and with an axe and take it.
Is that part of your wedding package?
Yeah.
So you get a tree as part. Just throw in this tree. You can have it for free.
Well, we can go every year. We can go every year. Look at the tree, so we can take Lucas next year, and you get cake. So
And do you get to tend to the tree?
I will look
Do you
at
get
it.
to
I'll,
trim your
I'll give it a
bush?
lovely kiss.
Ooh.
Bottom lip.
Ooh.
So they were like, "Oh, you need to dig the hole." So in front of two like real men,
Uh-huh.
I had to dig a hole. And the first couple of times, I couldn't get the spade in the
You
ground.
get nervous in front of real men, don't you? I remember.
Yeah, there was loads of grass. I couldn't get the spade through the grass. The men were looking at us. One of them had like a full green suit on, like he obviously was ready.
Overalls.
Yeah, he was ready for like anything. And I was like,
manly
"Oh,
jobs.
this is bad." So, but eventually, I got the chod out of the ground, got the tree in.
I find it
always
hard to
good.
believe that you
I did.
finished that job.
I
on your
didn't
own.
finish it. I got the chod out and I put the tree in,
What's
and
a
then
chod?
I started putting the mud back in the hole, but it was just in big chunks. And the bloke was like, "Nah, That's not how you do it. You have to chop the mud up. So then I was just flailing at the mud with the spade.
What's a chod?
And it's like a clump of mud.
A chod?
Yeah.
Really? I've never heard
Or
that
you
before.
could throw it to a turd.
Turd?
You could say, I've just done a chod. Or you could say, I've just cut this. It might be clod. Clod of turf.
I've got no idea. Never
Anyway,
heard it before.
so-
Did you use a spit? Or a shovel?
I use the shovel. I don't know what
see,
a spit
should have
is.
used a spit. It's easier for digging.
I think like you show more of your real madness every time we have conversations about manual jobs.
Sorry. I feel like I have to teach you things about things.
Well, I struggled to get some earth out of the ground with a spade. Put it
Yeah,
that
because
way.
you should have used a spit.
Well, this fuck has sorry, the people didn't have spits, sorry, Jake. Jake, what have you been up to?
School.
School. How's
Really?
that going? You started a new school. Have we seen you since you started your new school?
No. It's been 6
No.
episodes, I think.
Since we've seen Jake?
What?
I've just made that up.
We had him,
Alright.
we did
8.
that one last time we had the table out.
I think
like
it
this.
was 8.
Episode 8.
So 9,
You-
10,
What?
11, 12. Haven't released 12. This is 13.
It's been a while.
Oh.
It's been a while. That was the song
Before you were born, probably.
by a band called
Stained.
Stained.
I'm confused.
Break the Cycle was the album, I think.
Did you have that album?
I did. I thought it was really cool.
I did
Baggy
as well.
Jeans.
Baggy jeans
And
and
it's
black,
been a
black
while.
t-shirt.
It's not terrible music. Like
I
I'm not gonna
preferred-
listen to if I was out and at a certain level of inebriation and Stain came on, I'd be all for it.
I
like.
preferred they've done an acoustic version with Fred Durst on backing vocals. Preferred that version.
That's like the dream of our teenage self. Anyways, for school.
Nothing.
No.
Moving
Oh,
straight
brilliant.
on to WrestleThoughts, maybe.
Yeah.
So you used to done something mint this week that I didn't have the time and couldn't afford to do.
Yeah. I
You
feel bad
did.
for
I
you.
feel bad because we would have loved you to come. Can I show you something before I get started?
You can.
Because I got this there, and Jake got one as well.
No, they can't see it.
I know,
That is
but
cool. It's
Mark
a
can.
Marty Skrull Villain Club t-shirt.
We got to meet Marty Skull on Monday, which was really cool. But before
Very
we get
cool.
into that, we went to WCPW's Refuse to Lose pay-per-view. It was at Newcastle, Northumbria. It was at Northumbria University, and it was really good, wasn't it? It was super cool. I've got
There's
the full.
wrestling happening there.
Yeah, wrestling happened. It was that. I don't know. A lot of our listeners, well, all 2 people that listen, and I don't think one of them watches wrestling. Might not have heard. So it's What Culture Pro Wrestling. It was their last pay-per-view before the
Became Defiant Wrestling.
Defiant. That's right. So apparently the guys who used to run it, there was 2 of them. There might have actually been 3. I'm not sure what the story is, but they're leaving.
Adam something?
Yeah, something like that. They're leaving, so I think they're just rebranding altogether as a Defiant. With Wade Barrett as what's his name now? He's not going
Stu
by
Bennett.
Stu Bennett. Yeah,
He's
So-
shooting him.
he's going to be their new GM.
Just like on screen, he's not actually like a financial backer.
I don't know. I've got no idea what the story is there, but he's definitely on screen being there because he was there as a surprise on Monday. Charging £15 for meet and greets, which I wasn't happy about. I think
We've been spoilt though, haven't we?
we've been very spoilt, and I think after Chikara,
Because they have the atmosphere where you're just wandering about and wrestlers are wandering about and
yeah,
everybody's having it.
it's not like that WCPW.
There's no like barrier between the wrestlers and the people at Chikara.
Yeah, I think it might have been a bit like that. So you know the actual WCPW wrestlers. So you've got the guys that are obviously contracting for the shows. You know the big names like the Marty Skulls and the Will Ospreys and people like that. They are sort of like charging you for t-shirts and stuff like that for meet and greets. So you had to buy a t-shirt off Marty Skull if you wanted to talk to him, which really annoying when you've met people like British Strong Style and Simon Gotch for free.
You've met WWE contracted.
Yeah, and I didn't have to actually pay to see. And when you pay for your ticket, I think if you've bought one t-shirt, even you should be allowed to go around and
think
talk to them all.
In the grand scheme of things, though, like in the grand scheme of people who watch wrestling, we haven't seen a great deal live because of
Yeah,
many things. So it'll be interesting when we go and see their companies what their kind of approach is.
It was still good though. So the first match, I've got the full thing on my phone, but one match that won't be on it is the bonus match. Remember? So we got a bonus match, and the best thing happened. So the bonus match included generic wrestler in black tights. He just comes down, right, and he's facing this Pastor John, somebody or other.
Jesus.
He looked like Jesus.
So is he just Jabron, the guy who
Holding the
Jesus
Bible.
was wrestling?
Yeah, so he's like a jabron. I think he is anyway. What Culture Pro wrestling fans might know him, and will probably like have a go at us for it. But
I don't think any What Culture
no one,
fans
nah.
don't
But
think
this
anyone
guy
watches.
comes out. So it was a big sort of like gothic entrance. It was really quite funny, and this guy comes out, and my first thoughts were, is that Luke Harper? And it was like,
Have you had a special treat?
and it was like this full-on bearded guy. Looked like Luke Harper, a little bit smaller, but still big.
Mostly
he
like
had-
Jesus.
But he had like the full-on cloth on, like, and carrying a Bible to the ring. He was playing a heel sort of character, wasn't he? But like, in trying to get people like into the Bible and kissing his Bible and stuff like that, it was kind of like a comedy heel, wasn't he? You would have loved him. He won the match at the end by hitting the guy with his Bible, and then at the end, he was like, the other guy
So
went
he's a
away, and he
Bible
was sort of
basher.
like just looking around for his Bible. Where's my Bible? So that was really fun. That was what bonus match. And then the real show started, and let us just get.
So I presume when the DVD release that won't be on.
Nah, and that guy was coming soon as well, because later on in the show, the pay-per-view show, there was like an advert for him.
Right.
So, because it's weird, because on an
Dark
actual
match.
pay-per-view, you know, when they do them videos before,
Yeah.
they actually put them on the big screen, which is cool. Never been to a proper pay-per-view before, so I've never seen stuff like that before. Right, so the first match was Jay Lethal and Ava Story versus Drake and Roxy. I think we've all seen Drake before.
Drake.
As in he's been in Absolute shows before. I think he wears a t-shirt saying no gimmicks.
I know
So,
who you mean, yeah.
You know him. That was cool. Just because of Jay Lethal. Like, I've seen him since I was little, being Black Machismo.
You've done a good month of seeing.
I know. He didn't hang around at the end either. He must have just been. So he was like, it was sort of like the pre-show, wasn't it? He was on.
Yeah, he was on the pre-show.
So you had like a bonus match and a pre-show, and that was the pre-show match. So he must have had somewhere else to be.
So is it an iPay-per-view, like a streamed internet stream?
Yeah. So it'll be out there somewhere. I don't know. I actually think you
I
have
might
to pay.
buy it and watch it so it feels like we were together.
You can watch the
Together
pre-show.
again.
You can watch the pre-show on YouTube. You can watch the pre-show on YouTube.
Well, thanks for that, Jake. I might just do that.
Yeah, it's the actual Jay Lethal match is on a freebie.
I might check it out tonight when... Oh, I'm not going to say that because it'll offend my family. I was going to say an offensive thing.
What was the offensive?
I'll tell you later.
Okie dokie. So that was cool seeing him, because I've watched him for many a years, and TNA when he was, like I say, Black Machismo.
Machismo,
yeah.
He does the best Ric Flair as well.
He was doing that as well. He was doing the old styling and
He's
profiling.
actual
and
verbal
Uh-huh.
Ric Flair.
It was just a fun match, really. That one. Baddies got beat, goodies won. Everyone got on about their evening. Then you had.
It's difficult matches like that because there's no story, is it? So it just has to be.
The problem I had with a lot of
fun.
this was I didn't know what had been going on before it.
So was the can you tell there was actual storylines?
Yeah,
going
because
through?
they had like the videos on, you know, like to show you what had been going on before. So the next match was Mike Bailey versus David Starr. So this was for.
I love David Starr.
This is
so
to
good.
see who was going to be #1 contender for the Internet Championship. David Starr's hilarious.
Yeah,
I
he's
got that,
class.
like, really funny. Mike Bailey's sort of like martial arts guy. He came out like Jake wearing his martial arts gear, and he's
Except he didn't look
what
as
was his
cool.
name? What was everyone calling him again? He had a
Speedball.
Speedball.
Speedball. He's quite like well thought of on the British
He's
scene.
so good. Both of them, they put on a hell of a match. It was possibly one of the best matches of the night. to kick off.
Both guys,
So, like, both of them showed
big
loads. Yeah.
CZW alumni.
Honestly, it was a really good match. Really, Speedball probably showed a little bit more than David Starr, but Starr was really good on the mic, like, beforehand, like, really funny.
Best, like, he's class at dealing with, like, people in the crowd.
Yeah, and I think it was before the match started, he was sort of like making the announcer go through all of his nicknames, which was really funny. Went on for like ages, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that was quite good. Speedball won that match, so he is now number 1 contender for their title.
Is that their like IC belt type thing?
I think it might be like their sort of TV title. I think.
Bring back TV titles.
Bring back TV titles for every show. Bear with, because I can't remember what was next. This is in no particular order. Was it the hardcore match after that, Jake?
No,
I think it was.
it wasn't.
It was.
No, that was the third match.
So what was the next one?
I can't remember.
Oh! Was it that pointless tag team match?
I think so.
So there's a group, what are they called again? The Prestige.
Yep.
There's a group in WCPW called the Prestige, and they're baddies.
Who's in the Prestige?
The champion, or was the champion, so that was Joe Hendry and this tag team. Now, I've got this written down, but I can't remember which tag team was which, and it seemed like a pretty pointless match, so I'm just going to skip by it, because
waft over it.
Just waft over it, because to be honest with you, I didn't really, like, there wasn't much going on.
And Jason's got martial arts and got 12 minutes.
Oh, poop. Right. Then the hardcore match, which was really exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the hardcore match was Primate, Jimmy Havoc, BT Gunn, and Bad Bones.
So
I really like Jimmy Havoc. He come down with a really cool mask on. He looked like a hardcore wrestler.
Current CCW Tournament of Death champion.
Is he?
Havoc.
Well, he was swearing and stuff, which I thought was really cool.
Did you cover your ears, Jake?
What?
Did you cover your ears, Jake? He's single-handedly bringing hardcore and deathmatch wrestling into the UK, I think.
Jimmy effing Havoc is what everyone was shouting.
So seeing hardcore wrestling live, does it change your opinion on it a little bit?
It wasn't like full-on
Deathmatch.
deathmatch. It was just like a hardcore,
brawl.
yeah, like bring a couple of bats to the ring. Jimmy Havoc loved his staple gun, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had a stapler. There was lots of stapling of the heads going on and stuff like that.
And the nuts.
And the nuts, yeah. Got a couple of people in the nuts. BT Gunn and Bad Bones, which one was it? I can't remember. One of
Bad
them.
Bones is the German wrestler.
One of them looks like
Luke Gallows
Luke
is
Gallows.
Bad Bones.
Bad Bones looks like Luke Gallows.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is probably looks like Luke Gallows.
Bad Bones.
Primate
Bad
was
Bones.
Primate's the hardcore champion, but somebody's nicked his championship.
It sounds like they have a plethora of belts.
Yeah, I think this might be Jake's cue to go.
Bye, Jake. Have a nice evening. Right, we were talking about the amount of belts that they have.
So
NCCP.
they've got
WCCP?
WCPW. They've got heavyweight,
Yep.
tag team,
Yeah.
hardcore,
Yeah.
internet,
Yeah.
women's,
Yeah.
and I have something else as well.
It sounds like overkill to me.
Do you reckon?
I think it devalues belts if you've got too many. See,
Yeah,
when
but
I say bring back TV titles,
what you might be right though in saying that internet championship's a bit like their intercontinental, so that's their secondary belt. Hardcore belt's always like a different sort of like is a bit over here, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
to the
Left
side
field.
a bit. Women's, you've got to have a women's because you've got to have a sandwich break, and then you've got a tag team. You've got to have a tag team belt. So I think having that many belts is all right as long as you don't have
I
any
would
more.
drop the hardcore belt and have a television title belt and drop any sort of IC belt, and the television title belt would be the secondary, and then so I would have 4 belts
in
in
Defiant,
my company.
in your made up company.
Because like hardcore stuff would be kept to finish feuds, so you
Uh-huh.
don't need a belt for that unless there's a belt involved in the feud. Anyway, I'm rambling. That would be my loadout for belts.
Quite like. Do you think it was overkill Attitude Era when they had lots of
Yeah,
belts?
but I also remember like D'Lo Brown having the European Championship and the IC Championship as like fondly. So maybe I'm just chatting.
Didn't he like merge them into one?
Eurocontinental.
Say the last one. He was the last.
No, there was stuff after that. But so I'm just chatting shit. I love loads of belts.
Yeah, I thought like I don't think you can count the Hardcore Championship either. I think you need to like have that as a separate thing.
Separate entity.
Yeah, but I can't remember the guy who's pinched Primate's Hardcore Championship. I am a total
Some sort of wrestler, I would imagine.
like WCPW. I know nothing about it until this night.
I would say we'll find out and put it on the next one, but we probably won't.
Nah, probably won't. Right, let's just have a look at this. So, right. Liam Slater versus Johnny Moss. They were a tag team, I believe.
Johnny Moss is
Moss
the old school British guy.
He's leaving to be a trainer at the NXT.
He wrestled on night 3 of King of Trios against Mike Quackenbush.
Did he?
Mm.
Well,
we went there.
It was his retirement match, I think, this. Because there was lots of thank yous.
I seen it on Twitter, him like starting at the PC.
Yeah. So he's gone now. So that was kind of like, it was a nice match because they'd obviously been a tag team and they give each other a hug at the end and he passed the torch. He done the old passing of the torch to the younger guy, won, and then there was a lot of thank yous at the end of it. So I quite enjoyed that one. Although it was a bit like...
It's easier to get into if you have the emotional connection with
yeah,
the people.
because I didn't really like know him. It's always nice to get involved with the thank you chants and show a bit of respect for an old dude, but like I cannot really say
whatever company you're watching, you do the thank you chants because we love wrestling and respect wrestlers.
Yeah. So that's that the match was good, but
he's quite a technical guy, Johnny Moss.
Yeah. Exciting match next because I'd seen this on the card. It was El Ligero versus question mark. Had a feeling what was going to happen because I'd been wandering around the t-shirt stands before, and I seen the Marty Skull t-shirts, and I thought, that's a bit odd because they had all of the Bullet Club t-shirts. They had
the Cody ones.
They had everything. They had like Kenny Omega, they had the Bucks, they had everyone, and I knew they weren't all going to be there, but there was a separate table at the back for all the indie guys as well, and his was like Marty Skulls was separate to the rest of the Bullet Club ones. They were at the back, and I thought, and they had more than sort of one style.
You're like a wrestling detective.
Yeah, I was just like, didn't want to say anything to Jake though because I didn't want to get his hopes up, and they had caps and everything as well, and they didn't have all
like
that. For,
more of his.
Yeah. So I had a feeling. And it did. The Bullet Club thing came on, and after El Ligero or whatever he's called, who wears a funny mask, he's in the Prestige as well.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a Money in the Bank. It's kind of like their Money in the Bank. The guy from the Prestige, El Ligero, had this Money in the Bank, and the match was for the briefcase.
They do that.
You can do that, yeah. That's what happened. And then, as a surprise, it was Marty Skull. Which is really exciting because he comes down, he looks like a crow, which is cool.
Did you get that moment where everyone was like, ooh?
Yeah, like proper like burst out your seat moment. And Jay was screaming and stuff like that. It was cool.
Do you think the Bucks were like booking it? They were like, can we like see if we can get him booking over? Or
I don't know if it was like...
Or they kept it as a secret anyway.
I think it might have been done on purpose because what happened, I'll talk about it later because like the way the night went, I think it had been planned.
Right.
So the Magnificent Seven briefcase, that's what it's called, Magnificent Seven. I don't know why.
Must have been like a 7-way.
Don't know if it was like a 7-way match that somebody won for the briefcase. I'm not really sure. And maybe look into that, and I might actually look into that and report back because I'm quite interested.
It's 2 things.
I can't even remember what the first thing is.
Hardcore, not belt. Who nicked it?
Somebody's pinched the belt, yeah. So yeah, Magnificent Seven briefcase. Marty Skull comes down, everybody jumps out the seats, it's really exciting. I've got a video of it somewhere. I might post it on the Facebook eventually. I think by the time you've got over the excitement of the fact Marty Skull's there, the match is over. So it was a quick one. It was a quick one.
So you think he was just in for the appearance? Really?
No, because he came back later on because he won the briefcase. He then had a title shot.
Right.
Do you know where I'm going with this? Right. So, end of the match, he sort of like leaves as quickly as he came, but he walks past one on the way out, which is pretty cool. That was it. You think no more of it. You think that's the end of that anyway. We'll get on with the night. I think it was the Women's Championship next, which was, as you know, time to go for a pint, which is what I did.
They would have been good as well.
They would have probably been really good, but
Who was it?
It was Katie Lee Ray and B. Priestley.
Right.
Never heard of them before.
I think I know who Katie Lee is.
Probably being a bit arrogant. Went for a pint.
You don't have to pretend to like women's wrestling if you don't.
So I do like some of it. I just like sometimes I
Honestly,
need it.
get with it. Like, we were so disaffected because of the women's wrestling we were brought up on.
Uh-huh.
But it's just so different now.
I like NXT. I think the NXT women are cool. But even the ones on the main roster, I'm not like, even like Bailey, I get bored.
Well, the Bailey backlash has begun, hasn't it?
I get a bit bored of Bailey. I get a bit bored of Sasha.
Never bored of Sasha.
No.
Money.
I don't get bored of Alexa Bliss.
Nah.
Um,
I was going to say, is it 'cause she's got a nice bottom, but that's just sexist, isn't it?
Sexism. We're not allowed to be sexist.
That's class at wrestling.
Next, it was the Tag Team Championship match. War Machine versus the Young Bucks.
The War Machine are pretty impressive dudes, aren't they?
They showed me more than I was expecting. Unreal tag team.
They're like in Japan and stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, they turned this into a War Machine rules match, which I think is just a hardcore match.
That fit in with the Bucks having their jeans on.
Yeah, so the Bucks had their dad jeans on. I posted the video. They were really funny. They cut a funny promo before it.
Why did they have their jeans on again?
Because they lost their suitcases at the airport or something. They hadn't came. So they had their dad jeans on, and it was just your typical Young Bucks match where it was like spot after spot after spot. And
I
it
saw
was
one
just like,
spot, I don't know if you put it on or somebody else put it online, where
was it
they did a
this?
flip off the stage.
Yeah, there was lots of that going on. It wasn't just them though. War Machine were doing like moonsaults off the top. Like, honestly, the size of them, and they're
So it's
doing
like Wolfgang doing a moonsault kind of thing.
but bigger.
Bigger.
These guys are bigger. You know, they look like full on Vikings, and they're doing mad things off the top ropes. What a match! It was just unreal. It's like, and I know what they're saying about the Young Bucks, that they're killing the business and they don't sell and stuff like that, and they're just like, but it's so much fun to watch. It's not like you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. You know what I mean?
As
It's
we've
like,
always said, the WrestleFriends Podcast ethos wrestling is fun.
It was like probably the most fun match I've ever watched at a live event, because like they're just like flipping around and stuff and doing mental things, and they do that tombstone, you know, at the end. They're like,
it's got a funny name. It's like the indie stone. No,
yeah,
that's
it's
not it.
something stupid. But they didn't win the match. It was because obviously the War Machine came into a champion, and obviously left as champion as well. They must be booked onto later shows where the Young Bucks aren't.
Was it like they had overdone it on the high flying stuff and they minced them and with their finisher? Like, how did it go down?
It's I can't even remember how it happened at the end, but like I say, they were doing like War Machine with like coming off the top ropes and stuff like that.
Do you think that there would be somebody that it would be worth WWE looking at?
Definitely, both of them though, and I don't know if Young
They're
Bucks
going to have to hire a lot of money at the Bucks.
don't know, like, have they shot themselves in the foot with
I
the
don't
whole
think so.
thing that's happened?
If there's money to be made, then WWE plays ball, don't they?
But then the Bucks do so well on their own. Like, why would they need to go there ever? The only reason they need to go is to get more well known.
But once you've wrestled everyone on the indie circuit, and there's a chance that you might wrestle, I don't know, Triple H one day, you're gonna go for it, aren't you?
I hope they do. I hope they end up at NXT one day, because they're so entertaining to watch, and I'd love to see them in a. I'd love to say, I know they've done it before, but sort of like the night before the Hardys came and made that big comeback at WrestleMania. They wrestled the Bucks the night before in a ladders match. It would be so good to see that at a WrestleMania on WWE TV, Bucks versus Hardys, and get the actual like the what's the word?
Spectacle?
Yeah, and get as many people to see it as should have seen it, because not as many people will have seen that match that should have seen that match.
That's the thing that you would think would stick in these successful indie guys,
Uh-huh.
like your Young Bucks. who don't need to go.
Yeah.
It's like eventually getting that extra bit of like
exposure is the word I'm looking for.
Visibility.
That match didn't get the exposure that it probably should have.
Yeah.
The Hardys versus the Bucks. It would be a hell of a WrestleMania moment.
They've got that fame now that it would be like an AJ Styles when they signed them. If they signed them, it wouldn't be like, I don't think it would be NXT.
I think
it would be straight in and it would be cheers.
They could be straight on the main roster, but do you not think WWE would want them to go to developmental to try and get them to start wrestling in their style, because they do things their own way at the minute.
It'd be whether they would be willing to give up that style.
It's so much fun to watch though, live. Like, it's really good. Probably like highlight of the night, Jake scream. You might be wondering where Jake is. He had to leave. he went to martial arts.
Pow pow.
I'm just having a look at my phone now to see what the next match was. It went on to the I made a big mistake with this one. So it was Will Ospreay versus Joe Hendry for the WCPW Championship. I did a bit of an oops. I didn't realise that the show was going to go on till 11 o'clock at night, and I had obviously had an 11-year-old boy with us.
What time was it? What time was this when the title match started?
Like 20 to 11. And I was starting to get a little bit like, oh shit,
get home.
I'm going to get in trouble when I get home. So what I did was, we watched the first bit of the match. Will Ospreay, wow. Like he just stood in the middle of the ring and he done this, like, it didn't even look like he jumped, he just did a flip, like a backflip, and landed like Spider-Man, right? It's almost as if he can just do it without jumping.
He's meant to be a bit of a freak. I've not really seen much of his stuff, but
well, I've only ever seen him,
got to be somebody else to do here looking at.
I've only ever seen him on, like, you know, if I've been watching sort of like highlights of Wrestle Kingdom or something like that, and I've seen him on bits and bobs of Ring of Honor and stuff. I watched the match where he won the TV championship at Ring of Honor. I think he won it in Liverpool, and they put that one on TV. I've only seen him a couple of times, but he looked amazing, the stuff I saw anyway, because I had to get up and sort of edge my way around to the merchandise tables in case anyone
you wanted to get like meeting in before. Oh, excuse me.
Clappity doodle.
You wanted to get like meeting wrestlers in before you got Jake away.
Yeah, because he was really excited because he wanted to meet the Bucks. I didn't know that the Bucks weren't going to come out. They must have had suitcase issues. I don't think any of their merchandise came either because there was none suitcase there. Really, there was just like one sort of style T-shirt, and it was like the generic Bullet Club sort of
the one
style.
That would have been over anyway.
So we got up. We goes to the other side of the building where the merchandise is being sold, and Jake can't see anymore, which is a bit of a bummer because next thing you know, Marty Scurll comes running out with his briefcase, cashes it in, and he only goes and wins the flaming title, doesn't he?
It was in like a typical like cash in, like after the match, a few seconds, boom, done.
It was during the match, so the match became a triple threat.
Alright, cool.
And so then I had to get Jake sort of like on my shoulders to watch it, but I couldn't see a bloody thing.
So they've obviously booked him to come back for a longer match like in the future.
Yeah, he must be going. So he's going into the changeover as champion. So Defiant,
right?
Changeover. Stu Bennett's on commentary at this point. Marty wins the match. The other guys go, and Stu Bennett comes into the ring and he gives a big speech about how he knew him when he was training. He was just like a 15-year-old boy when he met him and stuff like that, and it was really nice, him a hug and stuff like that, and still, we are Defiant and all that spiel. Proper exciting, like stuff that you don't get to see at a house show, you know what I mean? Like, it was like really exciting.
I suppose it's like quite like important with it being the last show before they're Defiant.
Yeah.
Like, so it sounds like a lot went on because of that.
Yeah, and then Marty Scurll came straight off out of the ring, back to the merchandise tables. Will Ospreay came the other way, so I sort of patted him on the back. He went one way, Marty Scurll went the other way. I asked for Will Ospreay's photo, but he said I had to buy a T-shirt. I didn't really want to because the Mighty Skull T-shirts are much cooler. And me and Jake both got one, but Jake's is too big for him because he can't get Jake-sized T-shirts apparently.
No, that's true. Because children don't spend a lot of money at merch stands, I think.
No, but it's a shame for him. He's got one though, and
maybe he can frame it and put it on his wall.
He'll grow into it.
What he should do is get his ticket stub and the T-shirt and put it in a frame.
It's probably my favourite Bullet Club T-shirt.
It is. It's cool.
I've got a few now.
Every member of the Bullet Club.
I like the Hangman Page one. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen it. No.
It's cool, that one.
I wasn't particularly aware of who he was until we had the conversation about him the other day.
But yeah, like it. It was a good night. What was it? I got my photo took with Marty's girl.
Because you bought a T-shirt.
Because I bought a T-shirt, but because Jake got his photo with him first. And then I was like, but can I have one as well? And he was like, a bit like, oh. Because it was a
I bought a T-shirt? What do you mean I can't have
my right to get a photo. So I got one. It wasn't as cool as, like I say, we couldn't have like massive conversations because of the crowd trying to get in.
Yeah.
I'm glad I actually went and stood around there because we got to have that little moment. But what a night. I really enjoyed it. Really good night.
Sounds awesome.
It was. And Jake really enjoyed it. I can't think of anything else I need to tell you. Good night.
We'll have to check out a Defiant Wrestling show.
They come to Newcastle quite
have
often.
the time and the money.
They're like always in Newcastle, like.
Yeah, well, they were a Newcastle-based company, I think.
Will they?
Yeah.
Alright. Didn't know.
But like slightly too Aaron. I mean, what culture is weird? It's got loads of facets, like internet facets and stuff. It's got like list ones on YouTube and stuff. It's like a bit of a big company, I think.
There must be. They're pretty well known around the world as well. Because I was listening to Talk with Jericho the other day, and Cody was on, and he was talking about.
I love listening to Cody. He's quite a cool guy.
He seems like a nice guy, yeah. And he was talking about what culture. He was talking about his 3 matches with Kurt Angle. I think they were with them as well. They would have been good to watch, wouldn't
they?
Yeah. So yeah, if you do get the chance to check that pay-per-view out, you should though, because it's really good.
I'm gonna watch it.
I've had some other thoughts as well. It wasn't all about that. Just a couple. So, Sister Abigail's coming.
So, I missed this. Did he actually say Sister Abigail's on her way?
She's coming, apparently.
You know, his actual sister's been training.
Yeah.
Like Bray Wyatt's actual... Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas's actual sister.
She's meant to be quite good, isn't she?
So is it going to be her, do you think?
No, I think it's... Right, there's rumours going around that it could be Paige.
Right. As a kind of like, we've got Paige and Duck Renator type thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's rumours going around... Have you watched the Mae Young Classic? You were going to watch it?
Not yet. I'm going to watch it. But
there's someone on it called Sage Beckett. She used to be in TNA.
I'm not that familiar with him. If I'd watched it, I'd be able to let
She apparently posted something on Twitter.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt-y, Sister Abigail.
Like Eater of Worlds-y.
Yeah, something like that. So maybe he's watched that space.
That's exciting.
Does it make the feud with Finn Balor any more interesting? Because I was getting a bit bored of it.
So, I'm really excited, like slightly off topic, but I'm really excited for Hell in a Cell.
Right.
But No Mercy, I think I haven't watched it yet, and I'm just going to let it
go?
Let it go. I might have it on in the background at some point when I'm just like doing something.
You should definitely go back and watch the tag team match.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You see, WWE have released the Cesaro t-shirt.
Cesaro, have they? That's cool.
Yeah. For getting his teeth knocked out. So I might watch it for that, but yeah, I'm just kind of. I might just have it on the background at some point.
Oh, what else? Oh, the John Cena Reigns match. Yeah, it's pretty.
But I'm really excited for loads of stuff on Hell in a Cell.
That
I wasn't.
We'll have a look. We'll have a chat.
I wasn't quite very happy reading how Strowman and Lesnar went down. So
yeah,
I'm boycotting it because I think you need to build up people like Strowman, and I think they spent years building them up, and I think it sounds like they did a bad job.
Oh, right. So I agree with you on that.
But yeah, I've not been interested in the Bray Wyatt. I've seen one of the matches and it was yawn.
Are you a little bit upset about American Alpha being split up, only to be put back into other tag teams?
Yeah. So they spent years on American Alpha, like year and a half on American Alpha. I saw NXT at Newcastle a couple of years ago, and they were the most overact by a mile.
Yep.
Were you at that show?
Yep. That the one where they put them on with Kane against?
No, I'm talking about the actual NXT show at Newcastle.
Oh no, I wasn't at that. No.
I think I was with my friend Fraser. They were the most overact by a mile.
Yeah.
Like they had so much potential, and I think they had potential to be split up, but I would have waited a year.
I would have waited, because all that seems to have happened is they've had to put them with someone else to get them over a bit more as singles competitors.
Shelton Benjamin and Gable is just American Alpha 2.
And now that Jeff Hardy's injured, it seems like Jason Jordan's getting.
I can see Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, because they were both top like Olympic wrestler guys. Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan. What the? Like that's just like
it's mental,
we'll just get two people who are completely different, random, and just chuck them together.
I'm not enjoying that.
I'm not having that.
They really need to pull the trigger on the broken thing,
because they keep teasing it.
No, but
this is
like,
the
do you not think it's going on too long now? They've teased it to the point of where no one's interested anymore.
I don't hear many deletes anymore.
No one's bothered anymore, I don't think.
I think they've waited too long. Just like, well, they do that quite often, don't they?
It's like, I think
there
they've
must
almost
be some sort of stumbling block.
So they've waited too long on that, and I think they've waited too long on the club thing, because now they're just so far down the pecking order.
Well, they're actually at Starrcade. They're wrestling the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, who are legit 70. And I bet you they lose as well.
Yeah, I think that might be the final.
So Starrcade is like synonymous in the like 70s and 80s with Rock and Roll Express. I bet you they lose.
Yep.
That is, losing to old men is the final
bad
nail in the coffin.
Yeah, they're done for them. Which is a shame.
What was your initial point from? Oh, it was
American Alpha.
Tag teams,
I was just a little bit upset.
Yeah, they were perfect. Shelton Benjamin and it's just like they fit together, but it's like it's American Alpha but worse. Like you said, it's like we'll stick an old guy with him.
Just stupid. I can't believe they've done it. Does bringing in the bar make the Shield reunion more interesting?
Yes.
We talked about this last week because we were a little bit like meh.
I have thoughts. Can we
skip this?
Can we cross the streams?
Yeah, cross the streams. We're not gonna die, or?
So it's made that match at TLC. I presume it's going to be the actual TLC match.
I think the posters leaked with the Shield on.
So you've got The Miz and Cesaro and Sheamus all being rewarded for good work like over the last year. So that's hopefully going to be the main event. You've got Axel and Dallas there. So you've got extra bumps for tables and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be exciting. Good times.
Agreed. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked with a Miz Gerard. It would have just been
not
like
big enough.
Nah.
Putting Cesaro and Sheamus, who like Sheamus was a main eventer for years. Cesaro's like kind of workhorse and stuff. Miz is like top heel. It's like rewarding them a bit, I think, because all three of them had a mint year.
I think we talked about it last week. I think this could be a good way to sort of like get Roman over.
Do you see the Shield reunion as just the Shield will reunite, will have a match, they'll do kind of the Shield stuff, then go the separate ways? Like just or do you think there'll be a sting in the tail? Do you think there'll be like a double cross or something?
I don't think they'll get the double cross again. I think they might do. Do you remember sort of like when DX got back together, just Michaels and Triple H, and they sort of like just kept getting back together now and again? Like I think maybe they'll do that, because
I hope they go the whole shebang and they come through the crowd. That'll make us excited.
Yeah, they should do that. Like
I like when the Miz came through the crowd in the Miz Taraj.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he, the Miz?
But yeah, it's just nice to see the Miz rewarded. I hope it's like the main event. It's got to be.
It should be. I don't even think Brock's scheduled
No, I
to
don't think
wrestle
it's
for
there.
months now.
Nah.
So
That's exciting. That's good. Best main event they've got at the minute.
need to put the belt on one of them.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Mm.
I don't think they'll go that far.
My thoughts are finished.
I enjoyed your thoughts.
They were very long thoughts.
It's always good thoughts when people have been to wrestling. My
if only I'd
thought-
known a little bit more about WCPW before I actually went to the show, I could have probably... I missed out the Kiss My Arse match as well, but I don't really want to talk about it because it was with rubbish people.
Just jabrons.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't wake me up. Don't wake me up when I'm dreaming. These are my WrestleThoughts.
That's the theme song from something.
California Dreams.
Yeah, that's the one.
Surf dudes
With attitudes.
Right, so NXT 412
Ah, yay.
happened on the 20th of September
I'm all to pot with where you're up to now.
2017. So this, I've got 2 to watch. So episode 14 of the WrestleFriends Podcast will have 2 NXTs in. But right, so I'm making a conscious effort to be less mental with
Right.
NXT.
Yeah.
So this is about half of what I normally do.
Cool.
Better.
Yeah,
Better.
we're getting there.
So Boring Roddy.
Boring.
Boring,
I'm up to
Roddy.
date with NXT, by the way, so I don't want to... I might... Spoiler alert.
Don't do any
I'll
spoilers
just
on me.
sit here and...
No, you haven't. You might not have seen it.
I've seen... I'm
Alright.
up to date.
Don't spoil anything then.
I'm just going to nod.
Boring Roddy asked
Boring.
Regal politely, because he's a polite man,
With a family.
for a title match because he has done everything asked of him like a good man should.
Huh? And he's
Uh,
looked after his family whilst he's been doing it.
He didn't mention his family
No.
in this segment, which is nice because it's really annoying. He looks like a bank manager in his suit.
I don't like, the jacket that he wears to the ring.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
yeah, it's like... I
It's
don't
like
know.
it's like a bomber jacket, but like...
I think it makes him look a bit doofy,
Yeah.
like a little bit special. Anyway, in stark contrast in suit
Uh-huh.
suit wearing,
Yeah.
Alistair Black speaks.
Yes, he did. How did you
Um,
feel about this?
He had a suit on also, which made him look like a gangster in
Mm.
contrast with the way that Roddy looked.
Okay.
So like with his like tattoos and his like general coolness, like he made the suit look really cool. And he
Uh-huh.
got in the ring and he like rolled his sleeves up and took his jacket off and he had the 3-piece on.
Yep.
He didn't look like a bank manager.
Nope.
Roddy did.
Yep.
Champions should wear suits. What do you think?
Depends. Who the
Alistair Black
champion
should
is.
wear a suit
Alistair Black. I can get away with that. Yeah.
because he's cool.
Yep.
Roddy should wear a suit.
No.
Roddy should just put his trackies on, shouldn't he?
Roddy shouldn't wear the gimp jacket neither. I don't know what Roddy looks good in. He's got this geeky look about him, honey.
Love my family.
Yeah.
Talks about traveling the world.
Yeah.
The meaning of his tattoos.
I'm not talking about Roddy anymore.
He is awesome, but should not have spoken. It was a big
Talked
mistake.
about that before, haven't we?
You
You had to though for what was about to happen.
I think it ruined his mystique just a tad though. If they'd spent 6 months, just him ignoring everyone, it would have been much better. Like to build up his character. So like, when what happens, if he'd just done the thing he did but not spoken, it would have worked.
I
Anyway.
agree. I don't think
So-
you should speak.
The darkness is blinded by the light of the Velveteen Dream.
Just gonna shut that door because it's better.
People piddling around in the background. The darkness is blinded by the light of the Velveteen Dream.
I'm not gonna say anything.
So, Dream talks about... Velveteen Dream comes out.
Yep.
He talks about light and dark and hearts.
Mm.
Intermittently, randomly. Not sure what he's going on about.
Yeah.
Didn't really follow it. Black masses the mic out of Velveteen's hand and then sits cross-legged in the ring.
Mm.
So, say Velveteen Dream had come out and started shouting on, and then he just kicked out of his hand, but he hadn't spoke. He hadn't had a chance to speak yet.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been better.
Yep. I don't think you should have ever spoke.
So either could have said Alistair Black speaks,
Uh-huh.
comes out, has the microphone, Velveteen Dream music hits before anything happens. That would have been better for me.
Or if he was going to speak, he does this thing. I can't really talk about it because I hate this.
Would it be spoilers?
It's not really a spoiler.
Just tell us. It's fine.
So they do this interview with him on one of the next NXTs where he's like,
Black.
yeah, he's not like, it's not like an interview. So you know, sometimes they go to the performance center and they're training and they catch them out the ring.
And like, oh,
So
what do you think?
They done that, right? And they like talk to him and he talks in sort of like riddles, like we had sort of Aleister Black.
But he
words.
doesn't do that in this.
No,
promo.
but if he is gonna talk, I think he should be doing that.
Yeah.
Like
So from
talking-
the start.
Yeah, but now they've made him look too much like a mere mortal.
Because it was very much like I've been around the world and that. It wasn't like Bray Wyatt-esque
Yeah,
shite.
he's just a mere mortal.
Anyway, how you sent us a text asking how I would feel about
You
the
didn't
Dream.
answer.
Well, because I was saving it.
Oh.
How do I feel about the Dream versus Black? I feel pretty good about
Feel
it.
pretty good about that.
I do. So after he's Black masked the mic out of his hands, Dream drops to his knees in front of him and looks like he's going to do a bit of a kiss. But then just does a sexy movement out of the
A
ring.
bit of a homo moment. Yeah.
So he mouths the words, "I forgive you," as he walks back up the ramp, and like puts his finger on his lips. Like, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
About the match.
About the whole thing. I think it's going to be like a mind games type of thing. Like,
It's kind of like he's trying to get his attention in it.
yeah, like I like it. It's like I think it outlays the Velveteen Dream's character quite well. Like this kind of attention-seeking.
Yeah,
kind of-
and it's like later on you sort of realise that like an Aleister Black, he doesn't like it when Aleister Black's just sat cross-legged in the ring and not ignoring him.
He wants
He
to be
can't
like.
actually take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it
that's
sounds
quite
like
good.
they've done a lot more character development in the next few.
Yeah, I can't talk about it too much though because it's spoiler alert.
Well, I don't mind you spoiler alerting because
So
what
they
I'll
do
do
it-
is if you remind me that we've spoken about it, I'll not speak about
They
it.
do week just gone. They do
So that'll
Lio
be-
Rush's debut.
Yeah.
Against Aleister Black. The match doesn't happen. I was a little bit disappointed in this because I wanted.
Wasn't it a way to protect Lio Rush?
It might have been.
By not having to have him have
The
the
match didn't happen because Velveteen Dream came in and zapped him.
Well, it's a
and
nice
then-
little bit of like a nod because they were partners.
Yeah.
Lio Rush and Velveteen Dream, so they might be able to go with that later on.
At the end of it all, though, it's like Aleister Black's sitting in the ring, like just staring forward, and Velveteen Dream sort of like telling him to say his name and stuff like that, and he's just like ignoring him, and he's walking up the ramp going, "You will notice me, you will notice me," and getting a bit worked up about it.
I like so that side that like wanting to be centre of attention, wanting everyone to notice him.
Uh-huh.
That makes the character make sense.
Yeah.
So I like it. I'm excited for it. I will be up to date with it all eventually, and
You can write notes on that, and I'll probably still talk about it again.
you have to remind us though if I'm just shouting on. Next, Lars destroys No Way Jose. Bet you were happy about that.
Totally.
He did diving headbutt off the top rope,
That
which
was cool.
I thought was quite impressive for a guy of his stature.
It was.
So the Lars train rolls on.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting.
Keep on Larsen.
Keep on Larsen. The Wrestle Lars podcast. Cheeky little backstage one suite from the Mustache Mountain.
Oh yeah, remember? Yeah. Love that.
I love it every time they're on. There's a little cheeky one suite
Yeah.
backstage, and I think I've done one of them. with
Yeah, I've done it with them guys.
them. Tyler Bate and Trent Seven versus Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Kyle O'Reilly looks like he's full on being mint in a real fight.
Yeah, he's
Like,
wacky,
he's a scary
wacky face,
man.
guys. So Dean Ambrose pulls these mental faces when he's in the ring, but it looks a bit cheesy when
You think,
yeah,
I'm not messing with him, like.
yeah,
And
I agree.
like, there's one point in the match where he like waist locks Trent Seven, I think it is, and then like taps on like he starts like palm striking him. Then he's like jumps straight into like a triangle choke, and then like a cross arm breaker from that. And you think like, you're pretty
handy.
You're pretty handy. So yeah, great grappling. So Tyler Bate, in every match I see him in, he does a new move where I think like I've never seen that before. Like,
Yeah.
you are a freak.
Mhm.
Like, he does two in this. So there's one where Seven's doing a fireman's carry driver, and on Fish, I think it is. Then Bate like leaps off the top rope, catches like Fish with his shins, on Seven's shoulders, and then like Seven goes into like a rolling senton. It was like, I've never seen that before. Absolutely amazing. He did another one where I'm just gonna have to find it. So yeah, he catches O'Reilly diving into the corner, deadlifts him into, holds him for a bit, suplexes him, and then does a running shooting star press. I'm like, it's just unreal.
He's a
absolute beast.
He's really young.
Yeah,
He's just gonna get better.
People who make me feel angry about how old I am: Tyler Bate, Leo Rush, and Velveteen Dream, both 22. That's quite annoying. Who else is young and annoying? Authors of Pain are both quite young. That's annoying. Just young people.
They haven't been around for a while then.
Ah well.
Thoughts? Have you got a thought about that?
So where are we? Another awesome match involving the British guys. The finish is Cole pulls Bate off the apron, hitting a super kick, knocking him out cold. Then O'Reilly and Fish beat down Seven and hit the high-low total elimination. So it's like the kick to the face, kick to the leg, leg sweep. Numbers game wins again. I think that was unfortunately, I think that's the end for the British guys with the Undisputed Era.
Is that not when they went into the crowd and Sanity were there?
Yeah, so McIntyre comes to the ring and they'll kind of run off. It looks like Cole and McIntyre's a long-term plan, I think.
Yeah.
As they backed away, Sanity were behind them and then have a big brawl, so then the Undisputed Era like dick off. I think you're going to get your wish. I think they're going to have all 3 belts. The Undisputed Era.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
At some point. Yeah.
Sanity have got to be placeholders, I think.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they might go up soon, Sanity as well.
I think they'll get all the belts. So that's exciting.
It is.
So, on my next Wrestle Thoughts, War Games is back.
Yeah. War Games is an old WCW.
So if you want to watch the best, and I suggest you watch it before you watch the War Games coming up. The best example is '92 at Wrestle War. It'll be on the network, and it's Sting's Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance, which was Paul Heyman's like stable. It had like Rick Rude and people like that. Watch it. It's class.
I'm looking forward to it.
So for anyone who doesn't know what War Games is, it's 2 rings with a cage over the 2 rings. So the traditional, it's 2 teams of 5, and they come out every couple of minutes, and they toss a coin to see who starts off. So like, what you have to have is you have the face is always one man behind.
Yeah.
So it's like face Jeopardy.
Right.
But what they've got, so that the War Games, NXT War Games Takeover on November the 18th is AOP and Roderick Strong versus Sanity versus the Undisputed Era.
Yep.
So I don't know how quite they're going to work it with 3 teams rather than 2 teams, because they can't have the thing where they come in one after another.
So it's been 20 years since it's last been done, isn't it?
It was on a Nitro.
So
17
years. I'm guessing WWE will do it a little bit different, I would have thought.
Yeah, well, what people were saying that, but Cody Rhodes tweeted saying that like Triple H worked under my father, and my father worked under Triple H at NXT, and it was Dusty Rhodes who came up with the concept. So like he's already like rang us and guaranteed us that it's going to be like done well. It's going to be like respected.
Look forward to it.
Once again, anything Triple H just has ideas that make me excited.
It's because he's got so much sort of like respect,
you know, that
for
like
the business and for like its past and for its fans, that like
Vince has refused to bring War Games back because it was a WCW NWA Dusty Rhodes idea.
But do you not think this is where Vince is like stumbling over? Because I bet Triple H had something to do with bringing in AJ, bringing in Gallows and Anderson and people like that from Japan, and Vince made them jabronis because he doesn't like Bullet Club because they're bigger. You know what I mean? They're big.
It's just like, it smacks of how good WWE could be when you see the things that are done in NXT.
One day it will.
There's so much clever in the booking. So a lot of the War Games matches were involved the Road Warriors as like on the face team. So you've got AOP with Paul Ellman, which is like their kind of Road Warrior style guys, with the guy who was with the Road Warriors. And then they were always with Sting, who was like your hyper babyface.
Yeah.
So then you've got like Roderick Strong, who's like your clean cut babyface guy. So it's like a nod back to like how they did it.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. I just like the whole spectacle of the two rings set up. And
It's going to be a good medal at NXT pay-per-view though, because...
Have you seen the card?
Nah.
CN versus McIntyre.
All right.
Like we called.
Uh-huh.
What else is there? I can't remember the other ones. I should have written them down. But we called that.
We could talk about it closer at the time.
We could. We'll have to. Other things I'm excited about. Do I have time?
We've got about another... I've got to go for Jake at 1:30, just airing me personal life on podcast there.
So I'm excited for New Day and Usos at Hell in a Cell.
Every match they have is good.
Potential match of the year candidate inside the cell, I would say.
Definitely.
Fantastic nod to the effort that these guys have been putting in, week out.
Yep.
I'd like it to be the main event.
It won't be.
It won't be, but I'd like it to be. I think Shane and
Kevin
will be the main event, which I don't mind because I'm super excited for it.
Apparently Kevin Owens is being advertised for Raw shows, so might be his last SmackDown.
With your factions coming together.
Something like it, isn't it?
So yeah, Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, Hell in a Cell. Now is Falls Count Anywhere.
What?
It's now They did a whole thing. It's now Falls Count Anywhere.
I must have missed that.
So they had a bit of a brawl backstage.
Oh yeah, they went up there.
But they had
crowd and stuff
Shane
like that,
came out and said, "I'm changing the rules. It's now." So they're doing that because he's going to do something mental, isn't he?
Off the top of the cell, probably.
But to make it a Falls Count Anywhere, it makes this think it's going to be elsewhere because they've done mental stuff off the top of the cell.
Yeah.
But like the whole idea of a cell is keeping things
in the cell.
So Hell in a Cell, Falls Count Anywhere is a bit of a...
So are they just going to start in the cell?
I would describe that as an oxymoron.
Will they not have the cell door? Will the cell door be open already for them just to openly leave?
It'll be interesting how what their reasoning's going to be. I hope it's kind of tied up and there's a reason. Otherwise, I'll just be calling messy.
Yeah, you don't like messy, do you?
No. So if there's a reason, I'm for it. I've already talked about TLC.
Yep.
WrestleThoughts. Over.
Done.
Next time I'm going to talk about... I'll have two NXTs to talk about because I'm too bad.
I don't know what I'm going to talk about next time.
Oh yeah.
Probably going to talk about how
exciting. At what's it called again? War Games. You're going to have Lars Sullivan Ono as well.
Oh, that will be exciting.
So yeah, I thought they were building Cassius back up for a reason, and that being one.
Yeah, cool. I'm also probably going to ask you next time how you would feel if Roderick Strong joined the Undisputed Era.
I've seen little things about that. I'll go through it properly when I watch it. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, I've got some thoughts on that, but I'll keep them when I've watched
They're
it.
stories for another day.
Cool.
Jake's
WrestleThoughts out.
Jake's out. WrestleThoughts out. Time for Wrestle Poems.
Yeah, I've got one. Have you got one?
I've got one.
Do you want to do yours first?
Mine's about so when I was at WCPW the other day, I was thinking a lot about Wrestle T-shirts because
they're important.
They're important, and I didn't know which one I was going to get. So I wrote a poem about Wrestle T-shirts.
That's a good subject. A subject I am very au fait with.
You like a Wrestle T. You have the very serious Wrestle T-shirt
collection.
Yeah.
I like me Wrestle T-shirts when I don't get drunk and lose them.
Oh, I forgot about that. I would have tried to fit that into my poem somewhere if I'd remembered about that one.
That was one of the worst moments of my life.
I can't imagine it being a very proud moment when you were looking around the floor for your Wrestle T-shirt when
the actual
guy you bought it off was standing.
I don't think Pete Dunne was there. It was Bait and Seven, but I was so drunk, like I don't know. I think I was on the floor in the toilet at one point.
That's bad. I wonder who's got your Wrestle T-shirt.
Some jerk.
Some jabroni. Right, here we go. It's called Wrestle T-shirts.
Nice.
I might call it Wrestle Shirts. Might sound better. Right. Wrestle T-shirts are being sold. You shouldn't wear them in the cold. I get excited when I see a killer print on a Wrestle T. I buy one. Oh, yeah. The doors just opened whilst I'm mid-flow. My wife has came in. She's in the drawer, getting pyjama. Would you like to say anything? No, you've interrupted. I'm going to start again. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought there. Right. So it's called Wrestle T-shirt.
Wrestle shirts is better.
Wrestle shirts?
Better wrestle shirts.
Yeah. So, Wrestle T-shirts are being sold. You shouldn't wear them in the cold. I get excited when I see a killer print on a Wrestle tee. I buy one at a Wrestle show. They are too big for Jake. He needs to grow. Wrestlers sell them at a stand. I feel the materials in my hand. There's no hurry to decide which one to buy and wear with pride. So take some time and get it right. Don't just buy any old shite.
Nice.
Wait there, it's not done.
Final line.
Jumpers, cardies, pants or skirt. There's nothing like a wrestle shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you wrote a poem about wrestle shirts.
It's become a big part
It's an
of...
important thing, isn't it? Like,
It's become a big part of going to a wrestle show for me because I like to buy one every time I go now and like as a souvenir.
so it's not just like, so I've got a lot I've just ordered off WWE shop or whatever, but like the ones you bought from an actual show, it's like
I don't buy them off WWE thingy because
expensive.
I never think about it. But I don't buy one at WWE shows neither because I think to myself they're cheaper online,
Or
and then I never buy one online neither.
Or I'll buy a couple of beers instead.
So
My wrestle poem is called War Games. From the mind of the dream, the lights reflecting off the cage with a gleam, combatants locked inside 2 rings, we get to enjoy all the violence it brings. Clotheslines, power bombs and blood, the fans flock, a human flood. Grapplers enter one at a time, 2 teams of warriors in their prime. The best concept in wrestling, dormant for 17 years. An extreme battleground when the smoke clears. Creatively hitting its peak in 92. A return in 2017 makes it feel brand new. Hooray for NXT, you have done it again. A stroke of genius from Hunter's wrestling brain.
Indeed.
I
enjoyed that one. That was a good one. I think it seems he put a lot of thought into that one.
Well, I was bored today for half an hour at work, so that's when I wrote.
Is that when you did it?
Yeah.
Nice. I hope no one from work.
Listen,
Nah.
Nobody's gonna listen to it.
Nah. We haven't really got anyone to put in Gonzalez this week.
Who's nah?
I might put Will Ospreay in for not letting us have a photo with him.
But that might just be the company
Don't care.
line.
Don't
What
care.
about generic man? Generic
Just
wrestler
generic
man?
wrestler man from the pasta
bonus
match. A bonus match.
He's probably a massive star.
I bet
that
he
you
is, you
don't
know. I'm sure he came down for something else as well, but I can't remember what. But I'm for putting generic wrestler man in.
So we'll either put generic wrestler man in for being the generic wrestler man, or we'll put you in for not knowing who generic wrestler man is.
All right.
Which one would you prefer?
I don't want to go in. Not just yet. Anyway, I'm going to put generic wrestler.
You normally only go in if you like vomit on yourself.
Yeah. I don't think I'm ready to go in yet.
Let's think. So we've got generic wrestler man, but is there anyone else? Nah. We'll put generic wrestler man.
We could put Vicky in for interrupting me poem.
Yeah, Vicky, you're going in.
Going in the wrestle.
You're getting your
Gonzalez Hall of Fame.
You're in for getting your gymmers out of the drawer.
I was in full on like flow with my poem as well, and she came in and opened the door. You know when it like knocks you off. Not having that. You're in. She's in.
Done.
If you want to get in touch with whatever, which no one ever does,
please do.
The WrestleFriends Podcast at yahoo.com. I'd like to hear from people because it would give us something to talk about.
YouTube,
other than what we think.
YouTube, Facebook, and SoundCloud all have messaging clients.
Comments.
Use them, if you want. If you want to sing songs of themes, You can do that.
I forgot to mention that me and the Young Bucks are now friends, but I might save that for another day.
What? The fact that the message
On Twitter.
well, they didn't message or respond to you.
Yeah. Get quite a few of them.
So they said, like, we'll just do it now. They said, didn't this, you say, like, Will would be allowed to
will we be allowed to? Sweet.
and they sent you one back saying,
You will.
you will.
Exclamation mark.
That's like, it's personalised.
Yeah.
That's a personalised response.
So me and the Bucks and Road Dogg and Tyler Bate are friends.
Good times. You've met some good people recently.
I know.
Or been in the same area.
It's been good. It's been a good
innings.
couple of months.
Good couple of months.
I've got a feeling it might go a while now without saying anything. Although 5 Star are starting on my birthday. There's a 5-star show.
That
I
sounds
think
like
we should do
promising.
that for my birthday.
When's your birthday?
February.
Oh, well, it's time to plan it.
And they're gonna have a TV show on that new sports channel that's free.
I might watch it if I've got time. Add that to my weekly watching schedule.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. Done.
Don't wake me up.
Don't wake me up as I'm dreaming.
We are the WrestleFriends.
This is the end of the WrestleFriends.
Hey, if you're watching this, welcome to Touchdown City.
What about the WrestleFriends Podcast?